My name is REDRIOT. I wish I was more useful in My Hero Academia, but I'm not, because all I can do is turn like Steel. But I'm not Steel, because there's another guy named Tetsu. I am just a side character. Imagine meeting a bunch of people that you really want to bond with, and you want to give them something so personalized and so custom that they will never forget who you are. Well, my friends, the time is now, and I am here to show you what it's like to make really awesome customized pieces. This is going to be the first video I'm doing on a tutorial on how to make these really awesome Pop Funkle necklaces. So, without further ado, let's get to it. Papa Squid's got you! So, the first thing I want you to do is I want you to ask yourself this question, okay? Do I really want to make something out of this, okay? If this is like a priceless item or this is something that you think that you want to keep somewhere down the line, I would highly advise you to not to make something out of it or even open the packaging. If you don't feel shit for this and you feel like, hey, you know, I want to make something pretty, okay, then we're going to proceed to the next step. So we're going to open the package. Okay, so now we got REDRIOT from My Hero Academia, which is my personal favorite character. I definitely love the color scheme on him. He's essentially just red and black. So now we have the figure, we have to see where are we gonna have to drill the holes. Now, when drilling the holes, you have to keep one thing in consideration is that you have to know where to put the positioning of the holes. And the reason for that is you don't want to be dancing or headbanging and all of a sudden, you know, something, you know, starts like shaking or like rotating or flipping upside down, right? And I'm gonna show you a great example right now.
1, 2, 3, make it loud.
So you don't want to end up being like that, okay? So my personal experience, the best way to do something with a pop figure is you want to drill around the middle towards the back. And the reason why is because you have the legs to kind of hold it together, so when you're like headbanging, it doesn't like tip over or like press against anything or like flips the other way around. So we're gonna go ahead and just do that right now. We're gonna drill 2 holes, one through this side and one through another. And the easiest way to do this is you can either eyeball it, which is something if you have experience doing, you can totally go with that. Or if you're not really good with it, you can definitely use a Sharpie. Now a Sharpie definitely is much easier, or a pencil, to mark a tiny hole through here or through here on the other side, so it's easier for you to guide the whole thing. So one thing to note when we're drilling something is I don't recommend drilling something from one end and pushing it through all the way to drill through the other side. And the reason why is because it's hard for you to see how straight the drill bit will go. So it's always best to always drill from one side, stop, and then go from the other side and drill from the other, okay? Don't ever push it all the way through, okay? 99% of the time, it will never come out straight unless there's a special circumstance, which I will cover in another video with one of my other figures. Okay, so now the figure is good to go. We have holes on both sides of the figure. Now we gotta select our beads. I've already went ahead and just selected all the beads for these. Now I have some really intricate pieces. I have like these spacer beads. I have these 3D printed chrome black metal gun beads that I've done in the lab. I have these really nice rose beads. I also did that too with another friend. Some of them I got them from wholesalers, some of them I got them from AliExpress. If you ever need any place to buy cheap artisanal beads, the internet is going to be your best friend, especially AliExpress. Okay, so now let's go on and get this sorted out. Now the next step here is to pick out the string. Okay, so now we got the beads all set up, good to go, and now we just need to figure out what kind of string we're gonna use. Now, string is a very complicated subject. We're gonna go ahead and cover that in another topic. But with that being said, for this piece, I'm gonna be using 1.5. Now, you can get all strings usually from most craft stores like Joann's or Michael's. I am generally the guy to really hate going against like corporate consumerism, but it's actually the most reliable place to get it. It can get a little pricey, especially now after COVID, materials a lot harder to get. But regardless, it is very reliable and it's always on hand. Now you might be asking, how am I gonna string this through? So there's actually a few ways to do it. I'm gonna cover the most basic way, and in my later videos, I'm gonna show you the most other ways to do it. You go ahead and get yourself a really large plastic needle. You could just put the string through it, okay? and you just put the string through it. There you go. And then what you do is you just basically stick it through the hole and then just loop it around. You just find it. This one's a little bit tricky, I think, because I don't think it's actually long enough. Oh, son of a bitch, it's actually not long enough. Okay, so this is not going to cut it. And the reason why is because it's not long enough for it to reach all the way through, or at least through my fingers. We're going to go ahead and just use another method. I call this the paperclip method. You essentially just get a paperclip, unroll it, and make it into a shape of a needle with... I mean, it's it's not the greatest looking thing, but hey, it gets the job done, right? Like with most things, modern problems require modern solutions. So we're gonna loop it through, okay? You don't have to tie it, okay? You just have to leave some room for it in order to unravel. And we're gonna stick it inside the hole. And basically what's gonna happen is we're gonna go ahead and just try to get it through and loop it through. Okay, and there you go, so we got it. And then now it's as easy as this, just pull through. Now be careful when you pull this, okay? You wanna make sure that this paper clip here is actually as close to the stem as possible, because when you loop it out too much, what happens is it might end up actually just getting stuck inside the figure, and it might just unravel inside, and then that's just a whole nother better problem you're gonna have to figure out. Hey, so now we finally got the piece of string in, and now we get to the fun part, okay? The most difficult part about this is actually not stringing the pieces in, it's actually getting the string in, okay? Some of the pieces that I've done, they have some difficulty putting the string in because either it's like a double material on the inside, or just like there's certain like angles of it that doesn't work. But this is the best part about this project, is assembling it, okay? So I'm gonna go ahead and just kind of just speed through this, but basically you're just gonna go ahead and just make the style however you want. Now I'm gonna go ahead and show you what exactly it looks like right after everything is done. Once we started finishing one side of the necklace, we're gonna go ahead and just measure out the string so it's equal to the other. Now, obviously, I have a little bit of excess over here. So what's gonna happen is I'm gonna actually just end up pulling some of it back out. And the reason why is because, you know, string is A, very expensive, and B, nobody likes wasting things. You know, I'm casually reminded by my own mother that I'm already a waste in life to begin with, so let's not perpetuate that. So now what you want to do is, now that you got everything together, you're essentially just gonna roll out the remaining roll of the string, and you're gonna just basically cut it where it's actually matching the other end of the stick. Okay, so it's gonna be about here. Pull it out here. Okay, so we're gonna get our trusty pair of scissors. For me, I got Mr. Santa Claus, and just go and just cut this out at the right distance. I think this is it. Okay, left some room there for extra measure. Okay, and you see here, we do have it measured out the right distance. Okay, and now all I have to do is just continue to the other side, and it should be finished. Okay, so looks like we actually came out, wow, this actually came out really nice. I could already picture it in my head. What you want to do now is, because string is made out of elastic, I need you to do yourself a favor and hold on to the two ends like this. And I want you to kind of just pull the pieces a little bit, stretch it out a little bit, because what happens is when elastic gets worn is that sometimes it does get a little loose, and the last thing you want is having too much of a string that's like overlapping outside your neck, and we want it to be as close as possible. Okay, we don't want it to like be too loose by any chance, so you just like pull piece by piece, string by string, and you'll see that this actually does help it stretch it out a little bit. Again, we're not yanking it, we're not using it as nunchucks, we're basically simply just pulling it a little bit, and you'll see that yes, a lot of the string did come out already, so it just goes to show you do need to kind of like stretch it a little before you do it. Okay, now tying is very easy. All you have to do is just do a very simple knot. So tie it over, we loop it over. Now before you tie it, okay, take a look at the piece. Is this up to your liking? Do you have to adjust any beads? Do you think, hey, maybe I screwed up on a pattern? This is the time to do it, okay? Nothing is worse than tying something and making a knot so hard to take off that you have to cut it and restring it again, okay? So all it is just tie it to the corners and it should be all set. And basically the rule for this is, because it's a thicker string, I want to tie it only twice, okay? A double knot goes a long way. Now with smaller strings like 1.1 millimeter or even 0.5, you want to do it at least 3 or 4 times. Okay, just tie there, tie both sides, and that's pretty much it. All you have to do is just cut the ends of it, and bam, here we go. Fucking Red Riot The most beautiful looking piece of shit I've ever seen. So, this is the final product of this Red Riot figure that we just went through, and you'll see it actually looks really nice. It's very comfortable, it's very sleek, it's very elegant. I like the color scheme on this, and from a distance it actually looks like, wow, it's kind of a stunning piece. So yeah, thank you guys for going through this tutorial with me. This is going to be one of my first video doing this. Of course, there's going to be a lot more coming out. If you guys did like this video, go ahead and just give a thumbs up or subscribe or share this video. I would really greatly appreciate that. Until next time, guys, my name is Squid, and don't stop being beautiful. Hey! Seto Kaiba, it is over. You have lost. I have summoned the Fields of Destruction to end all your life points. Yugi, you have fallen into my trap card. Behold, the most powerful card of them all. Mom's credit card. That is not how you play the game. And that is why I don't fucking play Yu-Gi-Oh! Anymore.